We are live with the league historian and the color analyst for the 2020 World Series.
You're doing a decent job on that.
I think you've been doing a phenomenal job. First of all, before we get to the World Series, let's discuss in general that last year we had 5 World Series games. 4 of them were one-run games. This year, 2 more World Series games, both of them one-run games. Last year we had a couple of extra inning games. This year, a 13-inning game that just will be remembered, I think, forever.
Instant classic. I was actually thinking about this yesterday as well. I believe the last 3 World Series have gone 5 games, at least.
Yes.
So you've had your share of Game 5s. There's been close series. Of course, within each series, there's always a blowout game here or there. But yesterday was absolutely amazing competition. Each game was clean. There were close scoring games, low scoring games, defense. There was some timely hitting. There were plays at the plate. There were missed opportunities. It was just your classic postseason World Series day. And it was just unbelievable to be here yesterday and witness all that.
I think these 2 teams proved that they were the 2 best teams in the league this year. I really do. They went wire to wire. They were the 1 and 2 seeds since opening day, basically, all year long. People still doubt swimming. They say they're 2 batters deep and nothing else. And look out with the way they stumbled in the second half of the season. I also doubted them, and people doubted them. But then you look at the way these 2 teams, they pushed themselves to the limit. Game 3s in the LCS series. One of them a 1-0 ball game against Navy over here on this field. The other one a 13-5 rout that was 9-0 and 13-2 over the hottest team in the league, cold-blooded, on that field. Happening at the same time to get here, and then we see the showcase that they presented for us on games 1 and 2.
Unbelievable, and I think it's always great for the league. I mean, I know there are stories and things happen, but you need those 1 and 2 seeds playing sometimes. Those were the strongest teams all year. A lot of times we get lost in, who gets cold here and there. You're going to have those weeks where teams don't look as good, and we tend to overreact, and that's what happens. But at the end of the day, these 2 teams were the 1 and 2 start to finish, basically.
Yes.
They both started out 4-0, I believe.
Yes.
And they had that week where they played. They never left their spots. They deserve to be here right now.
100%.
You referenced that 1-0 game. I thought that Nathan Batesh in that game threw maybe his best game ever in the YMSL.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing him better, but I think it speaks for how good Lookout is. That they stayed in the game. AB Sackett kept it there. They got out of trouble, and they found a way to win the game at the end. Naby pitched, I think, his best game ever since coming into this league.
One More Time had the first 2 men on in this game against AB Saka. They had 2 men on, nobody out, 3, 4, 5, couldn't get them to budge. H went down looking, Shalou did, he got out or whatever, inning over. Then again in the 3rd inning, they had 2 men on. Then again in the 5th inning, then again in the 6th inning. I mean, the amount of chances they had, and the big moment was with men on the corners and their cleanup hitter, Ruby Shalou, up, and a 3-0 count. AB Saka was on the ropes, and he actually threw ball 4, and Ruby swung at it on 3-0.
That was the problem there, and I heard your interview with him, and I know what his approach was. He obviously wasn't trying to ground the ball to 3rd. He knew what he had to do there. I don't agree with swinging 3-0 there, because I think you're going to get the same pitch 3-1. You're going to get the same pitch 3-2, and the fact that it was a bad pitch, obviously killed him, but that's why you don't take that chance.
And
let
you know
that
what?
3-0 pitch go.
And maybe 3-0 is right over the plate, but then 3-1 might be bounced. And then you have the bases loaded, one out.
I didn't like the play then. It's easy to say now. I didn't like it then.
You didn't like it then.
It happens. You know what?
What
Probably
about this?
8 out of 10 times he does get it to the outfield.
Right.
He didn't yesterday.
What about Moshe Amma being caught off 3rd base for the 3rd out of the inning?
I think he was shocked that the ball was swung at. I think he was just like hanging off the bag, and Shalou swung the bat. I don't think he was expecting it, and he couldn't get back in time.
And he must have really been out because
he
Troy
was
called
out.
him safe
He was out.
initially, and
No
Kenny
argument.
overruled it.
Yeah,
No argument.
But let's get to the World Series.
Let's get to the World Series. You're right. Okay, game 1 of this series, you have look out, score a run in the first inning. Steven Shalou got the sac fly, by the way, in that game we were just talking about, and he hit the ball deep there in that sac fly. Now he starts this game, game 1 of the World Series. He rocks a double, and he looks like the old Shalou again.
Yeah, he looks great.
They get the runner over, they get the runner in, 1-0, look out. But then, swimming, their top 3, Nate, Farka, Zach, single. It's bases loaded. Single. So it's 1-1 now. Abe Haber hits that deep sac fly. Little league play where look out throws the ball all over the place. One of the non-crisp plays of this game. Zach takes advantage and they go up 3-1.
Well, we spoke about it during the LCS. Swimming does not stay down long, and they actually did not stay down for an offensive out. They scored before they got an out.
Wow.
So they came in and answered the bell like they do many times, and it's something they have to do, Norman, because this team is a different team when they're playing from down. When they're ahead or when they're tied or whatever it is, they're a much more comfortable and relaxed team. This team gets a little uncomfortable when they're down. I know they came back yesterday at the end of game 2, but from what I've seen, this team playing ahead is a much different team than playing behind.
Yes, you felt they lost their cool in game 2 against Cold
I
Blooded.
thought they did in a real way.
So you were worried about them in game 3 against Cold
But then
Blooded.
they came out and killed them.
They put up the 4 spot in the first.
I think that this team is good enough to win the World Series without having to play from behind. And I think that they they learned their lesson from game 2 of the LCS. They say they did. They've talked a lot less since then. But game 2 of the LCS for me was an eye-opener. I did not like the way they responded, but give them credit. They came back, killed Cold Blooded in game 3, and came out yesterday and played amazing.
Abe Saka, after the 2 games, after the heavyweight bout in game 2, he said in his interview, tip your cap to swimming. They travel well. They bring a ton of fans.
They do.
But he said, not one person said one thing wrong all day.
No, they
cheering for their own team.
I agree. And I spoke to a few guys on swimming, and they asked me what I thought, and I told one of them, I won't say who, I told them if I was your manager, which I'm not their manager.
No.
But if I were, I would have wiped the floors with them after that game 2.
Right.
And in particular, that guy.
Gotcha.
That I was talking to. And he said, we talked all week long in the chat. We learned our lesson. Gag order. We're not going to do that anymore. And to their credit, they haven't.
Okay, now let's go.
Because they bring a lot of positive. They bring a lot of positive energy. It's when they get a little negative that I worry about them.
Game 1, A.B. Saka had a huge at-bat in this game. It was 3-1 swimming with 2 outs, man on third in the 3rd inning. He got a big hit with 2 outs.
Yeah, got a big hit.
Made it 3-2. Now, once it's 3-2, you could get to the last out of the game, and it's uncomfortable. It's a 1-run game the whole time instead of a 2-run game.
Yeah.
And sure enough, both these pitchers went into lockdown mode. They didn't give up another run from the 3rd inning all the way to the 7th inning.
You actually commented on the telecast at 3-2 in the 3rd that it was a lot higher scoring than you thought it would be.
Yeah.
And you were right, but then, like you say, give Max and AB credit. It was lockdown after that. AB didn't give up a run since the 1st. Max after the 3rd shut it down, and you didn't have a lot of real threats except for that one, obviously play to play, which we'll get to now, I'm sure.
This game was so well played that when you make a mistake like Lookout made in the 1st inning, allowing Zach inexplicably to score from first on a fly ball to left, on a fly ball out to left, that's how they lost the game at the end. That's the 3rd run in a 3-2 game.
Yes, it was.
They should have never given up that run. It's crazy that was the winning run at the end of this game. Okay, at 3-2 in the 4th inning now, you have the base hit to left field. Oh my goodness. This guy, Abe Haber, I mean, his arm, Saul Towell, to his credit, said it in the preseason. He said, this guy has the best arm in the whole YMSL. And I said, is it better than Farka's? Is it better than some of these arms that we see? Ali has a tremendous arm. Some of our center fielders, Abe Cohen, he goes, Abe Haber has a better arm than everyone in this league. What a throw That throw was from deep. We'll compare it to the Aharon Cohen throw. The Aharon Cohen throw was awesome, but it was 50 feet closer to the plate than the Abe Haber one.
The Abe Haber throw was unbelievable, and I got to tell you, Abe Haber, the last couple of years, I don't know if he was overlooked or, I don't know, underrated is the word. Maybe just me, I didn't notice it as much. He is a great guy to have on your team.
Yeah.
He is clutch. He's a gamer. He comes to play. He doesn't say much. He does his talking with his play.
That pick, Sandy.
I really like this kid a lot.
That pick is the reason swimming is in the World Series. Everyone talks about Maxi Deed and Farka. If you don't draft Abe Haber then, and you draft another left fielder that you think is similar, you're not in the World Series.
He answers the bell. He gets the key hits. I said a couple of weeks ago, he got a big hit against our Maccabee team last year in the LCS in the extra inning game.
Of the game-winning hit in the 11th.
Game 3, he got that hit. He's gotten big hits this year, made the plays in the field, done a great job, and give them credit swimming. They came out, they took game 1, they did what they had to do.
So that play to plate was the key defensive stop of the game.
That was pretty much it.
Obviously. And then Maxi Deed and the defense handled it from there. Ruby Saka rebounded from his very rough
Excellent
game
plays
2.
in the field by Ruby.
He made tremendous plays
and
all day.
Look out, kept it there. They played well. It just was an old-fashioned pitcher's duel that Max won.
We do have to mention another thing that gets overlooked. Nanu Zolta, third base.
Unbelievable.
Every play.
Makes every play.
Every play. Short hops, long throws, off balance,
Makes
high
every
pop,
play.
everything. He's a phenomenal third baseman. He used to be a left fielder in this league.
That's a really good team.
It's a great team.
All around, it's a really good team. And this is a very evenly matched series, I think. It's a really good matchup. I told you after game 1 that I thought the series would be tied at the end of the week, and it is, and I think it's going to be a really good series the rest of the way. Up and down, up and down. I don't know who's going to win it, but I think it's going to go 5, and I think it's going to be a great series.
You were amazed at Steven Chalou's arm on a throw that he made. He bobbled the ball.
Was that game 2? I think it was
I don't know which game it was, but it must have been game 2 because he got Jacob out. It was a Jacob ground ball. He bobbled it. Then he didn't pick it up cleanly, so he really had to gun it. It never
got to first.
It never went like that.
Ball got to first quicker than I've seen a ball get to first, maybe ever.
Yeah.
Unbelievable throw.
Unbelievable. Okay. Now let's go to game 2. This was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, this was unbelievable.
This was, Ali Frazier, a 13-rounder, though. A 13-round heavyweight bout between Lookout and Swimming. If they go up 2-0, the series is going to be over. Now, we get to this game. Lookout goes up 2-0 on an Ali Marshall home run, which is not an Ali Marshall home run that you're picturing from 20 years ago.
No. It was a clean triple that became a home run on the throw, but he got a big hit, and they needed that. Lookout needed to jump out. Give this team credit. They don't get down. They lost game 1. They knew what they had to do, and they came out to play. They have a very good lineup. They've got some good hitters on that team. Ali did what he had to do.
Now, I don't know really if it was a clean triple because both outfielders went like this. It was Farka and T. Puppy, and the ball went in between them, and they both passed it.
Yes.
So either the ball skipped away, they didn't expect it.
There was no contact on the
no
ball.
Contact. I don't know how.
It wasn't one of, like you say, it wasn't one of Ali's, moonshots from years back.
But it was a hit.
Yeah.
I don't know how it became a home run, but they go up 2-0. And now Swimming, I don't think they've trailed by more than 1 in a while, except that game 2. So now they're down 2-0. They start chipping away. They had an inning where they got it to 2-1, but they should have gotten more. They had their heart of their order up.
Yes, that was a disappointing inning for them. I agree.
A disappointing inning. They left it at 2-1, despite going through Farka and Zach and Abe Haber and moving runners over and everything.
They had guys on. They should have at least tied the game in that inning. They didn't, and it stayed 2-1. I agree.
Stayed 2-1. Inning later, bottom of the order. 2 outs.
Yeah.
Man on second. Zach Ashkenazi with Jacob Jemal batting. That's his 8 batter. He uses his 1 pinch runner of the game. Now that shows confidence that your 8 batter is going to come through with 2 outs with a base hit. Right. That's a gutsy move out of Zach.
I agree. And I didn't think about it at the time that the 8-hitter was up, but yes, you're right.
I said it at the time, and I said, wow, this is a big move out of Zach, and I like that he did it because I thought it was the right moment for it because there's a couple of guys you're going to run for on Swimming. but I just felt like it seemed like A.B. Saka was somewhat vulnerable at this very moment. The guy was on second, swimming was allowed, and Maxi Deed is slow at second base. I go, you're not going to get 2 hits here. If you have faith in Jigga, you got to put the runner in here.
Well, Jigga was swinging the bat well. Maybe that's what Zach saw. He swung the bat well all day.
At the time, he was 2 for 3.
Yeah, and they were all hard hit. He was hitting the ball well.
Yes.
And to his credit, laces a single.
Laces a single. Now, this is a right center gap. You would think this is for sure going to score the run.
I thought it's automatic run, and Jigga maybe takes second.
I don't know.
Aaron Cohen.
Unbelievable
Came
play.
up throwing, and I watched the replay on your phone afterwards. What a throw him. I know we compared the 2 throws because they're similar plays. I don't know if you can compare them. One's in right center, one's in left. But unbelievable throw. Throws a strike and gets that runner out at home.
Here's the comparison. Abe Habers was further, and he bounced it. Aharon threw it on a fly, and the ball could have gone another 20 feet on the fly. But Aharon Cohen also had to go to the gap.
Yes.
He had to go to the gap, feel the ball, turn his body, and gun it.
Big spot. His team is up 2-1. If they give up the lead, it's getting a little scary for them. It could be something you look back at on this series, say a turning point of the series.
100%, 100%. So now it's the same situation because it's the third out of an inning to preserve a 1-run lead at the plate.
Yes.
2 times it happened in one morning.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
And for each team, really, really amazing. We proceed. We go on. Lookout could have broken this game open, and they didn't. They only scored 1 run in an inning to go up 3-1. It was first and third, nobody out. And we were saying on the broadcast, Swimming has to sign to giving up just 1 run here, and they did. They only gave up the 1 run. It went to 3-1. Swimming now battles back 3-2, and let's just fast forward to the to the top of the 7th inning.
And you know what, little maybe.
First Jacob.
Jigga, we can't overlook Jigga.
You have 8,
One
9,
of the
10.
hitting stars of the day led off the inning with a deep fly ball, and ball kept sailing. It was to left, correct?
On the left field line, deep.
Ball kept sailing on Teddy, and hit off the top of his glove. And Jigga gets the second leadoff double.
Now Teddy was upset that he didn't catch this ball, but when you see the replay, I don't believe the ball was catchable. I know if it touches your glove, you got to catch it, but it literally touched in full extension, going at full speed.
The wind was also blowing,
and the wind was blowing it towards the foul line.
Yeah, it was a tough play
away from him.
Like you say, you get your glove on it, you want to have caught it, but it was definitely a very, very. If he caught the ball, it's a web gem, difficult catch. Jigga's on second. Now Leon comes up.
Leon did not have a good day. He popped up. How many runners didn't get the run over to third? Not just Leon. The great Ali Marshall couldn't get the runner over to third in the same situation later in this game, in extra innings actually. But Leon failed to get the runner over to third. T-Puppy then hits a ground ball to third. On the throw, Jigga takes third base.
It was big.
It was very big because that's when Nate comes up. Nate
we were saying that this is great because on an error or on any type of hit, Jigga scores. Now, Nate comes up, gets behind in the count, 0-2. It's a tough count. I think he took a tough second strike. He wasn't happy. Stayed in the at-bat, hits a clean line drive to right. It's a base hit. Now, I didn't think of this either at the time. Jigga scores, obviously walks home. If he's on second,
no shot.
There's a play at the play. I mean, he's going. So there's a play at the play. He's going.
I don't know if he's going. Farka's on deck. Z's on deck. And I think he's a dead duck if he's starting from second base. Jigga's catching, by the way, his 15th inning at this time.
And the ball was hit hard.
Ball was hit hard, and Aharon already proved.
Right.
And the ball was shallow.
I think in the moment you're sending the guy. You're getting a 2-out hit.
I'm not sure, Sandy.
Up next, but I think you're sending him.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Anyway, they didn't have that problem.
If you send him, he's out.
A good throw, he's out.
I'm telling you, the game's over if Jigga's on second. If T-Puppy didn't get him over to third, which I guess you could say he got him over. He grounded out to third. He didn't do what he's supposed to do, but you know.
Now you have a tie game, and now you're starting to think this team's destined to win. And
you also have Farka and Z batting right now.
Yes.
But Farka did not come through in this situation, and the inning ends right there at 3-all.
Right.
We go to the bottom of the 7th.
They don't score.
They don't score.
Now you have
Z. You think it's bad because they split up Farka and Z, but Z on the first pitch of the top of the 8th
smoked it.
Woo! I mean, It was one of the most pretty home runs you'll ever.
This really was.
This was
clean, bomb, gap, hard hit, everything you want to say. Line drive, but had some air on it. Just completely amazing, like a Darryl Strawberry. I'm when he used to hit those like
it
shots that got out in 2 seconds.
It really reminded me of Ali in his prime, or Elliot Braha, one of those guys that are really unbelievable, true power hitters that just launch one.
Just launched
a Jackie Braha home run that you know is a homer off the bat.
Correct. And he, at that point, you're thinking, wow, the captain came through. This is going to be it, but look out. They don't go away.
They don't go away. Actually, ground ball to Z to open the bottom of the 8th. Carlos. Z bobbled the ball and then gunned it to first. Bad throw. Carlos, I didn't think was even going to go to second on this.
He had the guts to go.
Because the fence is so close to first base.
I know.
So shortstops know you could gun the ball because the fence is so close. You almost have like free reign over there.
Was he out or safe at second?
Oh, he was safe.
He was.
He got under that tag 100%.
Wow.
I believe he was safe.
Wow.
To the naked eye, I thought he was safe on the spot. But Carlos, to his credit, he took the turn and he got to second base.
Good player, Carlos.
Good player. Shalou gets Shalou then hits a high pop. 8 feet behind Rishdi at second. I thought he should have caught that ball.
Should have. I thought so too. I didn't know how that dropped, but now they're in business.
Instead of turning and going to get the ball, he backpedaled.
Right.
Ball dropped. Now it's first and third.
So now you figure, okay,
or it's first and second, maybe. It was first and second. I forgot.
No, I think it was first and third after
First and third.
Yeah, it was first and third after
okay, so now you're saying give up the run, obviously.
You gave up I think there was a forced play or something.
Yes. So Ali hit the ball. This is what happened.
Right.
Ali hit the ground ball. It was a tremendous play by Ruby Saka to get the out at second base.
Right.
Run scores. It's now 4-all in the 8th. They get out of the inning. We go to the 9th. We go to the 10th. We go to the 11th. And you're talking some legitimate defensive plays. Zach Ashkenazi, a diving stop.
You put it on the InstaWeb.
I put it on the InstaWeb. It might be the play of the year.
Yeah.
And when you consider the moment, it's obviously the play of the year. Ali Marshall in extra innings made a running in, sliding or diving or something stop. Tremendous play out of Ali there.
Look out, give them, because they played like their season was on the line, because it was. And I really think they weren't leaving this field with a loss. They weren't going to do it. Whatever it was, all those guys together said, we're not losing this game. That's a great team over there. And we're not losing this game.
Lookout really showed a ton of resolve in this game.
I agree.
They had the traffic on the base paths in the extra innings. A.B. Saka, that horse, that mule on the mound, that animal, that beast on the mound, he wasn't giving up anything in the extra innings.
No.
I think he could have gone 4 or 5 more. Unbelievable how he does it time and again. But, of course they had their chances. Both teams had their chances, but Lookout had many more chances, and they had the bottom of the inning. It just felt like their game as the game
I felt the whole
on.
time like they were going to win. And when it came down to it, and they had the guys on, they finally got that big hit they needed.
Here's where I thought the game really was lost. Top of the 13th. Because top of the 12th, Swimming had the bottom of their order. They went 1, 2, 3.
Right.
They went 1, 2, 3, I think 3 or 4 times in extras, by the way. Top of the 13th, they had Nate, Z, Farka, and Z, and they went down 1, 2, 3, I believe.
Yeah.
And
now you have another two innings really
to get them
back
again.
to them. And so, when Lookout came up in their half, I think it was first and second?
We also, just quickly, the strategy and coaching by, I want to give Mo Haber credit and A.B. Saka credit, and whoever else was involved in this. When they walked David Rishdi with first base open to load the bases.
Yeah, that was a while back in the game.
Yes.
And that was the inning where they only scored the one run.
Correct.
We said there should have been more.
Correct.
Yes, it was the right play. I think we were standing also with Sammy Towell, who also agreed. And again, no disrespect to Stephen Batesh, who was behind him, because he's a big time hitter too. But Rishdi has just been getting hit after hit after hit, and it was the right play, and it worked.
I never think it's disrespect when you walk someone.
I don't either.
Is it disrespectful to Abe Haber that Z gets walked 20 times?
But that's the league. The league is, don't disrespect me and don't run on me and don't. That's the league. That's what people do to get themselves going.
Right. Anyway, okay. So top of the 13th, they go down in order. Bottom of the 13th, another sloppy play to
Yeah.
put Lookout in business. A Carlos Abadi grounded a second again. Rishdi, it was a slow play, so it was tough. He'd have to charge in, maybe barehanded, maybe field it cleanly and quickly. You know, the Lisa carry.
Right.
You know, but he didn't charge it. Carlos safe at first. AB gets the runner over.
No, AB didn't get the runner over.
AB didn't get the runner over.
He's the one who didn't get the runner over.
You're
and
right.
Then Haber comes up.
You're right. Thank you, Sandy. So after AB fails to get the runner over,
That's
in
when
that
Haber
moment,
comes up.
Mo Haber comes up.
The veteran, like you've been saying, got the big hit 2 years ago in the World Series. Loves the moment. Professional hitter, RBI man, comes up, smokes the ball to right field. Had T-Pup backpedaling.
Could T-Puppy have caught this ball?
I don't know. Live look, I didn't think so. I watched the replay. It would have been a great catch.
Right.
I don't want to take anything away from the hit because it was a big time hit.
Speaking of that, one of the defensive gems in this game, Zach almost homered a second time in extra innings in this game. They went 4 outfielders. Carlos was the 4th outfielder.
Who's a
Los
great
is the center
outfielder
fielder.
in his own right.
He had to run back to catch a ball, man. I mean, it was a great catch by Carlos. The defensive plays in this game on both sides were tremendous, but this one was a fly ball deep to right. Like you said, I thought Mo Haber clobbered this ball.
I did too, and he in the interview he also felt like he got a hold of it when he hit it. I don't know. I think same thing with Teddy Braja's play. I don't think those. Could they have been caught? Technically, maybe. It would have been a spectacular catch.
Right.
So, but give Mo Haber credit. He hits the double. He walks his team off, and now we got a series.
It's an unbelievable series. I can't imagine this ending before 5. I mean,
I'm not great with predictions.
Right.
But I know this is going 5.
This looks like it's going 5 games.
I think it is too. I think you have 2 good teams that want to win. Each team has some shortcomings. Each team has a lot of strengths.
It's game 3 on Friday.
So I want to say that swimming is going to be up 2-1, and then it's going to be 2-2.
So everyone now overemphasizes the swing game of game 3, in my opinion. Really, game 4 is the huge game.
Big game.
But game 3, everyone says whoever wins game 3 is going to win. It's not true.
I don't believe it because if the other
Look
team
at the
wins
history.
Game 4, then they got all the momentum going into that final game. I think it's going to be. I think swimming will go into Shabbat up 2-1.
Wow.
And then I think by around 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, we're going to be playing game 5.
So looking ahead, Sandy, any keys that you think each team needs to focus on in order to be successful?
I don't
in this
think
series?
so. I think that both teams are doing their thing. I don't look at either team and say, you know what, they didn't do this game. They should, I think that they played their games. You had a really, really nice doubleheader in every respect. So I don't think so. I think everybody's got to keep doing what they're doing, and it's going to continue to be great softball.
Great thing about what we saw out of the first 2 games, and I'll finish with this, you saw some of the best players in the league step up, and you saw some of the 10th and 11th round picks step up.
Give a guy like Jigga credit. He hit amazing. Nathan Batesh, big hit down 3-2.
Aharon Cohen
with the
plays.
big throw. Teddy Braja, in that other game that we talked about, the Abe Haber throw, he came up with a big hit.
You're right.
Teddy Braja
hit.
got a big hit to get that run. And Nanu Zolta also always gets the run in. Man out there, 1 out, single. Always getting the job done.
If I'm a captain and I'm building a team, I'm picking Nanu Zolta. Wherever he's supposed to be picked, if it's him and someone else, I'm taking Nanu.
Something happened last year where a little bit of a fire lit underneath him, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Got picked late.
Very late.
He's been a different player since then.
He's
right. Stepped his game up a little bit since then.
Yeah, I just love his whole attitude on a team and everything.
This guy, I remember Nanu Zolta in my friend Jackie Ezra Zolta's front yard, the White Drive, self-hitting a wiffle ball in the summer.
Wow.
As a little kid, he'd hit the wiffle ball, go to the other side of the yard, hit the wiffle ball back. He could do it for hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Nanu
Zolta. Yep.
Nanu Zolta was the pride of the Zolta family when it came to baseball.
Absolutely.
They all went to his games and everything.
They humored Jackie Ezra.
Right.
But then they just waited to groom Nanu.
And Sandy, what a crowd we had at the racetrack. I think at Fireman's it would have been even more, but Fireman's is gone.
Both teams bring a crowd. Obviously, swimming brings the bigger crowd, but Both teams bring a crowd. Each side was nice. And then you have the YMSL fans coming. The kids. It was a great day. I expect to see the same on Friday. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the series.
Okay, Sandy, thank you so much for joining us. This is the league historian and the color analyst for all 5 games of the 2020 World Series. Sandy Shalom, YMSL softball, powered by DSN. Guys, thank you, and we will see you on Friday. Thank you, Sandy.
Guys. Thank you.